like I should now rename this channel affectionately Glamming with Glamma. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. And to all of my new viewers, supporters, subscribers, welcome guys, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy the content. And to all of my returning viewers, supporters, subscribers, welcome back guys. As always, it is a pleasure to see you. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. So for today's video, we're going to get glammed, but I feel like I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of a major life update. So yeah, let's just get started. I've been away from my camera for a few weeks, kind of just taking in and just being in the presence of one of the biggest blessings that my family could have ever received. So guys, just work with me. We're gonna get through this video. Okay, let's just go. So first I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. I apply this first, you guys already know. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. If you have combination skin, if you have an oily complexion, this right here will guarantee that your makeup will not budge. So we're just going to put this on as our primer. And such a little goes an extremely long way. I don't know all of what Danessa Myricks put into this, but baby, when I tell you, if you do not have it, you need to have it. Like, you need to have it. You are missing out. And then for color correcting, I'm going to use under my eyes the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Color Corrector in shade Papaya. And also for color correcting below, I do use the Fenty Beauty's Matchstick, and this is in the shade Pumpkin, which is so appropriate for this time of the year. I am so excited. I am ready for the leaves to start falling off the trees. I am ready for apple orchards and pumpkin spice donuts, and yeah, I'm just ready for it to not be high. So now I'm going to blend all of this in using a Makeup Shack's blending brush. This is in T29. And now that I look like the Great Pumpkin, we're going to set the color corrector. I'm going to use by Fenty Beauty. This is the Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Nutmeg. And I'm going to apply it using a little triangular puff. These things are genius. I get a little bag of them. They sometimes come in like a bag of 10 for like maybe $5 from Amazon. These are a lifesaver. And now for foundation, I'm going to use the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation in shade Macao. And I'm going to apply it using a e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And now for concealer, I'm going to use two. The first is going to be the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, which helps to conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch by Too Faced. And the shade that I use is Chestnut. Love a good doe's foot applicator. Going to apply that to my under eye areas. Bridge of the nose, chin, a little bit up here. And now I'm just going to take this damp beauty blender and begin to blend in the concealer. And then the second concealer I will be using, this is by Tower 28. This is a serum powered concealer, and this one is in shade 15. Now for this one, I don't really let it sit, simply because it's a serum, it's very thin. And since I've changed up the color of my concealer, I used to use a much brighter one, but since I've gone to pretty much my foundation shade in concealer, I'm with the Too Faced Born This Way. I use this one primarily as a lightener or a brightener concealer. I don't let it sit. So now I'm just going to also blend this one out. And now I'm going to begin to set the concealers using the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder by Huda Beauty. This is in my favorite shade, which is Peach Pie. It looks like it would be too light for someone with medium to dark complexions, but not Huda. Huda gets it right. I'm going to use the same damp beauty blender that I use to blend in the concealers. I'm going to apply the powder with it. And you may be looking like, okay, well, that's too bright. This melts into your complexion like butter. Oh my goodness. I cannot stop speaking amazing things about this powder. It's extremely finely milled, and I mean, it blends seamlessly into your complexion. Look, and look at that. No white cast. It's not sitting on top of my complexion. It's actually blending in with the concealer. I love that for me. It definitely holds off any oil or shine to show up throughout the duration of time I'm wearing my makeup. The Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powders have been out for a while. If you don't own one, I suggest you get you one. I mean, these are my absolute favorites, and I feel like they always will be. It's one of those staples that you just see yourself always having in your makeup kit. This is that for me. And then also with mature skin, you always want to look for products that do not promote texture as you're wearing it. This one does not. There is no texture that all of a sudden appears throughout the duration of time that you're wearing your makeup. It wears beautifully, it photographs beautifully, and it's very long lasting. And now to set my entire face, I'm going to use by the Sephora collection. This is a Micro Smooth Multitasking Baked Face Powder, and this one is in shade Hazelnut. And I'm going to apply it using a Sephora Pro 55 airbrush. I've had this brush for so long. This was one of the first makeup brushes that I purchased when I said to myself, hey, I'm gonna do my makeup on camera. This was one of them. So I have had this brush, oh my gosh, since like 2014. Don't judge me, I wasn't consistent with my channel. But yes, I've had this brush for a very long time. And now moving on to bronzer, I'm going to use the Buttermilk bronzer by Buttermilk. How about Buttermelt? I'm going to use the Buttermelt bronzer by NYX Cosmetics, and this is in shade Dew Butta. Oh, this is what it looks like. And I will be using another Sephora Collection Pro brush. This is a Pro Bronzing Brush number 80. And I'm going to apply my blush. I'm going to use a powder blush by Mented Cosmetics. I love that they are posting on a regular basis back again on social media. Y'all know this means that there are some goodies to come from that brand, and I'm so waiting on them. But anywho, this will hold me over. This is a blush, again, by Mented Cosmetics in Clay Too Much. And I'm just going to apply it using a Eco Tools blush brush. If you don't know already, I love this particular shade of blush because it gives exactly what you need it to give. It is described as a red toned blush, which is interesting because I personally don't get that from this shade. But in that case, especially since there's like no shimmer, it's pretty much like a matte powder or pressed powder blush. You could use this instead of using a bronzer, just a little tip. So I love this one when I want a blush to show up, but I want it to be a bit subtle. And this gives both bold and subtle, if that makes sense. It's a really interesting dynamic, this blush, because it carries itself, but it doesn't overpower your look. And all the while you can still tell that you're wearing it. So I'm going to move on to my shadow. And I'm going to work from two palettes. Only because one palette is giving the bright color I want, but it's not giving a transition shade, which is a bummer. So I'm going to borrow from the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to try and use this shade here as my transition shade. And as I do, we are now going to talk about what I've been up to. So I have taken a small bit of a hiatus from my channel because if you guys follow me, you know that I've been talking periodically about my son, my daughter-in-law, and also the fact that they had a baby on the way. Well, I am proud to announce I am somebody's grandma. Like, I need a minute to even just deal with that. And it's from a great place, but it's like, wait, what? Grandma? Like Grandma Letitia, Granny Letitia, Nana Letitia, Glamma Letitia. What? Like, wait, how? How did I get here? Obviously, I know how I got here. But even still, some days I forget. Like, my son is married. His wife is amazing. Like, me and her, we have our own little relationship even outside of him. Like, that's my daughter. I love her to pieces. And the fact that she blessed me with a granddaughter, I'm in a household full of boys. Like, all I know is boogers and sports and flagellants and video games and sneakers, and now here comes this delicate, gentle baby girl that just breaks the mold. Oh my God, when I tell you I am in love, and it's one of those that you don't see coming. You cannot prepare for it. You cannot. No matter how many gifts you buy and onesies and baby showers you have, and your first, like, you cannot prepare yourself enough for it. It's one thing when you become a new mother yourself and you're looking at yourself outside of yourself, like, oh my God, I created this. But then when you become a grandma and you're looking at the reflection of the love and sacrifice that you poured into your child, into another human being, ooh, baby, the emotional roller coaster that I have been on these past 2 weeks. And then to top off, like, if it couldn't get any better than that, to actually be able to see my son, who is not stationed in America, he's stationed overseas. He was able to come home to be here for the birth of his daughter and be home with his wife and his family. I'm like, it don't get no better than this. So yeah, grandma has been busy. I have been busy loving on my baby girl, which I call her Sugar Mama, and just sniffing toes and just holding her little hand and just watching her sleep. And it's so surreal. It really, really is. And I think one of the reasons that it kind of feels surreal to me is not a day passes that I don't go outside and someone mistakes me for being half my age. And although, you know, I attribute it to great skincare, also great genes, great genetics, although I attribute it to those things, it's a blessing to actually age. As my mother used to say all the time when we would tease her and be like, oh my God, like, Mom, do you know how old you are? You're like a half a century old. And she would always say, pray that you're blessed to get to this age. or pray that you're blessed to actually mature and to live out your days. So on one hand, it's like, oh my God, thank you. Okay, that means I'm showing up for myself. Like, I'm not actually wearing my stress. I'm not wearing my sorrows. I'm not wearing, you know, having to get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for work. I'm not wearing my bills, or lack of better wording, I don't look like what I'm going through or what I've been through. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, sometimes that can kind of, you can kind of run away with that subconsciously. So then when on one hand you're hearing, how old are you? About 25, 26, and then you're this whole grandma. It's like you have to snap back into the reality that yes, you look good for your age, but you're not the age they think you are, or you're not the age you look. So, and it's not hard to do once you're actually confronted with it, but for so long of hearing, you don't look your age, you don't look your age. Oh my goodness, like people used to think that my son was like my boyfriend, and I'm like, I'm gonna need y'all to chill. I'm gonna need y'all to chill. Like, first of all, this kid looks just like me. Second of all, for real, like my boyfriend. And then that brings me to another thing. Is there like this predetermined appearance that one is supposed to have as they're actually aging in life? I need somebody to tell me, because, you know, to say how old I am and people are like shocked. I mean, like genuinely shocked. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to look like? Oh my gosh, what? You're in your mid-40s. You don't look like you could be a grandma. Yes, I do. And I am. Like, what am I supposed to look like? Am I supposed to be tattered and torn and I don't know, humped over, and what's tea with that? What are we supposed to look like as we get older that, you know, people find acceptable to call yourself a grandma, or even not a grandma, just period? Like, what is the expected appearance that one is supposed to have after they have crossed the threshold from being youthful and young into midlife, or even as some of the young kids say, being old? What does that look like? I'm just curious. I mean, I don't think I will ever look it. There's too many treatments out here for me too, but I want to know, what is that supposed to look like? So somebody in the comments tell me, like, what are we supposed to look like? And then don't get me wrong, because for years, I prayed that my hair would start turning gray. I wanted silver toned, just beautiful flow. Well, I have 4C hair, so it wouldn't have been flowing, but I wanted silver toned, just beautiful curls. I even tried to dye my hair, bleach my hair on several occasions, just so I could get my hair that tone. And God is like, that's not for you. You're probably going to be a hot mess if I give it to you. And it's just not time for you yet. So I'm not opposed to actually looking older, because I feel like personally that I do. When I hear all of these compliments, you don't look like a grandma, and I'm looking at myself like, for real? I'm married, I'm broke, I have no extra nothing for you. So what is it you're trying to get out of me? Because I know I don't look 25, 26 years old, and I know my 24-year-old son, 25-year-old son does not look like he's my boyfriend. So what are we doing here? I don't know. But yeah, so the past 2 weeks has been very life-changing, very much so thought-provoking for me because it gives you a new sense of duty, a new found purpose. Now, not only do you want to show up for yourself and be the best version you can be for your children, but now you have a second generation after that. Now you want to put your best foot, your best forward face, just all of the best that you could give your children, and even what you couldn't give your children, you want to pour that into your grandchildren. So yeah, it's been a lot of thinking these past 2 weeks and a lot of smiles, and oh my goodness, I get FaceTimes every day, multiple times a day. I will FaceTime my son or my daughter-in-law, and I've already told them, like, I love y'all to pieces, but it's not about y'all anymore. It's about Sugar Mama. So I will FaceTime them, and it's not even a, hey mom, or hey Miss Letitia. No. Soon as that FaceTime connect, it's on my baby. It's on my Sugar Mama. I don't care if she's asleep, if she's nursing. I just want to check in on you. I just want to just see your little beautiful, tiny little face. So yeah, lots of thoughts, lots of FaceTime, lots of just praying on her behalf, on the behalf of our family, and just a lot of gratitude. That's, if I could sum it up, a tremendous amount of gratitude these past few weeks, more than ever before. Like a new found spiritual pep in my step is what this little girl has given me. It's been amazing. So I'm going to take this dark brown shade here, and I'm going to pack that towards the back of my eye. And I don't even think, did I even say the brush I'm using? Lord, I am using my Morphe M504 brush. Like, I'm looking forward to all of the things. I even told my son, get ready. We're doing the tea times. We're doing the pony, whatever baby girl wants to do. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, there's no say. There's no say. This is the first girl in our family, so get ready because it's about to be a ride. And now I'm going to move on to my bright shade. The shade I'm going to use is from this palette, which is Ace Beauty. This is the Classical Paradise palette. I am going to use this green here, which is called Golden Apple. And I'm going to pack that in the front portion of my eye using this is like an Eco Tools blend brush. It's a really interesting shade of green. Now I'm going to take a Morphe M222 brush and I'm going to apply this shimmer shade here, which is called Sunflower, to my inner tear duct. And now I'm just going to take a little bit more of the green apple. And now I'm just going to take a little bit more of the golden apple, and I'm going to apply using a Morphe M165 brush to my, or actually try and apply it on top of the black liner, or right below it actually. Now I'm just going to spray some Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And then for my lips, I'm going to apply a MAC Chestnut Lip Liner. And to fill it in, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Gloss Stick. This one is in the shade number 8, or Spiced Coat. Alright guys, so this is the final look. Off camera I applied some Eyelure Faux Mink lashes. So here's the look, and that is it. Yeah, so like I said, I have been a busy mom, busy grandma these past 2 weeks. Thankful to God that He got my family together safely so that we could bear witness to the amazingly beautiful addition to our family. I have to respect my son and daughter-in-law's wishes. They're not that big on social media like that. So if you follow me, just go to my community page and you'll see it's the last post. I did post a picture of me holding her. Oh, I can't wait to get back out there and see my baby. She is so sweet. Oh my gosh. But anywho guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, be well, stay safe, exercise self-care. It is not a privilege, but a necessity. Make sure to check in on your strong friends after you check in with yourself. And until next time, we shall chat again soon.